All aboard the Elvis train in the ghetto. Aha! A song that I actually know from Elvis. Going into the Elvis reactions, there was a grand total of 2 songs that I actually knew from front to back and back to front. This is going to be very interesting for me. Very interesting.
As the snow flies on a cold and gray Chicago morning, a poor little baby child is born in the ghetto. And his mama cries. 'Cause if there's one thing that she don't need, is another hungry mouth to feed in the ghetto.
It's beautiful.
People, don't you understand? Your child needs a helping hand. He'll grow to be an angry young man someday.
It could happen.
Take a look at you and me. Are we too blind to see? Do we simply turn our heads and look the other way? Well, the world turns.
It gets me. It actually gets me. Because I don't think a lot of people actually know that the Elvis grew up in the ghetto. He could be singing about himself right now, which is insane. He grew up, he was dirt poor. He lived in the smallest, tiniest little house. I'll throw up a picture. If you're a massive Elvis fan, you already know this, but you'd be surprised how many people actually don't know that he wasn't born into money. You know, he was born and he had comic books. He had a comic book for Christmas. Think about that for a minute. You know, that was his Christmas present, that you get a comic book. Some kids, you know, back then, a comic book a day, a comic book a week. If you've only listened to Elvis a few times and didn't really look into his life, then you wouldn't know, but...
And a hungry little boy with a runny nose plays in the street as the cold wind blows in the ghetto.
So...
And his hunger burns.
So beautiful that it's true.
So he starts to roam the streets at night, and he learns how to steal and he learns how to fight in the ghetto. Then one night in desperation, the young man breaks away. He buys a gun, he steals a car, tries to run, but he don't get far, and his mama cries.
I mean, what can you do? I mean, even if your parents have the best intentions, sometimes you can't change the way that they are going to become. You can only push them in the right direction, but it's up to them about the journey, about what they do. I was chatting to my mum, right? And she said to me, words that I'll never forget. On your gravestone, you've got when you was born and when you die, it's got the dates. Them 2 dates mean nothing. It's that dash in between the 2 dates, and it's what you do with that dash that's important. Do you feel like you've done enough with your dash? That this song is upsetting me because so many people go through this. It's so true. The emotions it stirs up in you. He gets a gun. He steals a car. He tries to run, but he don't get far. I know. And his mother cries. So it's like he really did go the wrong way. She predicted his life, you know, and that's what makes it so hard. But the Elvis's voice really comes through in this one, so it kind of makes you wanna. It kind of makes you wanna like smile and be happy because it's amazingly sung. That baritone, rich voice of the Elvis coming through, man. The lyrics get me. They get me, man.
As a crowd gathers round an angry young man face down in the street with a gun in his hand in the ghetto.
That is so upsetting.
And as her young man died on a cold and gray Chicago morning, another little baby child is born.
It starts again.
In the ghetto. And his mama cried.
This happens. It happens far too often. That actually gets to me, man. I love the guitar work in this. It's pretty basic. It's pretty basic, but it sounds phenomenal. The way that people spend their lives, you know, it doesn't matter how much you try to help them either. Some people just can't be helped. There is that side of it as well. Some people don't want the help. There's only so much you can do. I mean, I often like think about people who haven't got homes, are homeless, and I can't imagine how hard that must be to live out on the streets, you know, or be so poor you can't do the things that most other people can do. You know, I've been poor. I understand what poor means. I get that. I've been there, but I've never been so poor that I felt like I'd have to turn to crime to actually to live. You know, it's like it's horrible. It's a horrible thing. But as I said earlier, Elvis grew up like this. He lived in a very, very poor, actually a black community. It's like it was a mixed thing. I read up and I actually watched an interview with Sam Bell, and he spoke about what it was like growing up with the Elvis, and he said that it was lovely. In a way, it's like you feel rich because of the people around you, your friends. It just can't be easy, and my heart goes out to everybody who actually lives in ghettos or doesn't have any money. I feel that, and I help out where I can, but there's only so much you can help. Amazing song, sung to perfection, and it just stirs up all the emotions, you know. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this song. Is it on your personal playlist? How often do you play it? Bring up the Elvis list. Okay, now this is unbelievably good. So what I'm going to say, this is easy. Very, very, very easily bottom of the A rank, I'd say. Very, 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 very good. Among the best songs of Elvis Presley, in my opinion. And yes, I have heard it before. And so it's just nice to actually revisit it and actually read the lyrics. That was a triple banger!